Uh-oh. I see that I'm coming to the border. Uh-oh. I'm going to have to stop at the border between France and Switzerland. I have a studio there. And there I will have to see the border guard.
Passport, please.
Oh, yes, passport. Luckily, I have my passport with me.
Thank you, sir. Igor Stravinsky.
No. My name is Igor Stravinsky. Igor Stravinsky.
Igor Stravinsky.
Or Stravinsky.
Stravinsky.
Good, yes.
What do you do for a living, Igor Stravinsky?
Oh, I am composer.
What is a composer?
What is composer? All right, forget it. I'm not a composer. I am inventor.
An inventor?
Inventor.
What do you invent?
I invent music.
Ah, well, you must be a scientist doing something useful. You may pass. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much. I knew if I said inventor, they'd let me go. I am back in my studio in Switzerland. You know, the fact that I said inventor, which is true story, the fact that I said that is true. Because to write the music is like to invent music, same thing. In fact, right now, I am working on a new piece that is like an invention for machine. I've got different parts for machine to fit together. The first part I call the melody of the machine. I'm going to get that for you. Here is melody. Put this here, and then I have simply to make it work, the melody. Here. Make play. It's just too slow. Hold on. This is all right, you know? Now, oh, it stopped. Well, what happens is I make it so it plays 23 beats. And each time finishes 23 beats, it starts over again. So here, 23, wait a second. 23. Good bow arm. 23, all right, so we get it to start. 23, you can count with me. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Now I just program it so each time it does that, it starts over. Excellent. Now we need motor. You know what motor is? It's like in English, motor. That's what it is. So now I have to I put in motor in the cello. Let me get that. Here comes cello. There's always room for cello. Put that here. Let me get my screwdriver. All right, now start. There's a spring. I don't know whether to turn to left of spring or right of spring. Let's see what happens here. You go like this. Now, let's see. Play. All right, I fix it. All right. I fix it so it only plays 7 beats before it repeats 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Play. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2. We do again here. 7. Play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this does 23 beats before it starts over. This does only 7. Now what I need to have is, I picked up a piece of a toy. In France, it's called the Jack in the Box. It laughs. I'm going to get it. Here it is, Jack in Box. It was very expensive. All right, now to make this needs a little repair. Put the stein there. Okay, and then just a little bit of work here. Okay, let's see if Jack in Box works. No, no, no. It's supposed to laugh like this. And it goes, so what I do is I lower it. That looks good. All right, we try again. Play. There you go. That's great. All right, we use that. All right, we use that. All right, so we have melody, we have the jacking box laughing, and we have motor. Play! Play! Oh, I forgot one piece. I need wind-up mechanism. Wind up. You know. So I get that. It's in the viola. Here it comes. Put that here. I need screwdriver for this. All right. Now, screwing up viola. Now I tell you something. When I do wind up for viola, whole group will play the piece, I'm sure. Play. You know what? I'm going to see if I can get it to go again. It's stuck. That's not great. Let me maybe over here give it another knock if it goes. No. Oh no, it's stuck again. All right, I have an idea. I'm going to give it a real shock here. You know what? I think maybe I take a short break from this piece because it's very difficult to write this piece of music. So maybe what the composer does in between is have something to eat. If I could only have a bowl of borscht or a blintz or something like, you know, one great thing about America is you just thinking of food, it appears. Thank you. Bowl of borscht? Excuse me. That's what we eat in Russia. Delicious. I don't feel so good. I need to take this Pepto-Bismol. Not so good. Oh, you know what? I have idea. You can go. Good boy. I have idea for a piece of music. Because if you are a composer, everything gives you idea for a piece of music. And I have idea for a piece of music based on not feeling so good in stomach. So, that dee-yum, and then doom, boom, 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 boom. I put together into a piece of music. I will use my special composing machine that was not invented in my lifetime. And I will write into it some music. Then I have to save as Stravinsky, Igor, 3 pieces for string quartet, second movement. Now I have to get into quartet machine. No problem. Have this. We just had, whoops. Whoops is word I learned here in America. All right. That seems all right. Now I just have to send in cyber optic faxing email thing to this quartet. Send and play. That's my piece number 2 for string quartet. You know, yes, standing up, taking bow, and let me remove wire. All right, I would thank them, but they are not real string quartet. They are machine. So I thank you for myself, and I'll see you later. I have to go write Petrushka.
The family concerts are, of course, the most fun of all. And if I keep saying that, which is true, I think a lot of adults will realize that, yes, they like to hear a great neuroscientist talk about the brain, but they might also like to hear someone pretending to be Igor Stravinsky and talk about how music is made and say that it's like being inventor and you put pieces together and then you have piece of music. You know, I have a great time at family concerts because when you're teaching kids through entertainment and music, through acting, through comedy, but primarily through the music, you can do all sorts of amazing things that you just can't quite do in an adult concert. I mean, maybe one day those things will change, and who knows what concerts will be like 100 years from now. But at the moment, family concerts are the place for the most outrageous kinds of things to try. Kids are open to everything. And the same adults who might be shocked if you did something at a regular concert because it's inappropriate to a concert hall, they're having a great time because they're sitting with kids who are having a great time. So the main lesson of the family concerts is that music is part of the fabric of everyday life for everyone. It may not seem like that at first, but it's a very simple thing to understand. And then suddenly you realize that music is not about some classical music, I should say, is not something complex and distant and removed. It's very direct, it's visceral, and it's real, and we all know what it feels like. That has to do with making the composers real, and you know, a lot of family concerts around the country are a little bit condescending. Let's say you want to talk about how chamber music is like a conversation. It's a very obvious thing, and it's not terribly interesting to say that. If you just teach it like you're in a classroom and say, chamber music is like a conversation. Hear how this violin now passes to the viola. Everyone is bored, and it's obvious too. And you're insulting the intelligence of even the smallest child in the room. But if you have the conversation, if Beethoven is sitting around surrounded by other musicians and they're drinking and talking, drinking milk, of course, and having a wonderful time, and then immediately they go to the quartet and you see what the connections are, that's fun and it's revelatory. And in fact, my approach is that everyone has to learn. I have to learn something from it. Excuse me. I have to learn something from it. The workshop students who were playing the music for the concert have to learn something from it. And if we're all enjoying it and exploring it together and discovering it together, then the kids will discover it and they'll enjoy what we're doing. And so I would say one of the great things about it is that there is no dumbing down, which is a big problem in this country. There's no condescending. It is all discovering and laughing together through serious stuff. It's what's called serious fun. Getting to something mysterious through comedy, which actually is a great way to get there, and we all appreciate that.
Hello! I brought milk for everybody! Yes, a round of milk and banana! Yes, we are going to have a great time here, drinking the milk, jawohl! Yes, here, milk here, milk here, yeah!
Who are you?
What?
Who are you?
I am Ludwig van Beethoven.
Ludwig van Beethoven, the great composer.
The what?
The great composer.
I'm sorry, I'm deaf, I don't hear you so well.
The great composer.
Now
The great composer. Say, are you really deaf, or do you just want me to say that you are a great composer over and over again?
What?
Are you really deaf, or do you want me to say over and over and over again that you are a great composer?
Yes, I'm a great composer. Also, I'm deaf. And I have to tell you that in my real life, I couldn't hear so well most of the time, but I wrote the music, and sometimes I wrote about my friends here. We would sit around and drink some milk or whatever they had, and we would be singing or laughing, having conversation. But when you are deaf like Beethoven me was, I sometimes spoke in a monotone, you know, and say something like this and then talking one note. And these people would have conversations and I couldn't hear them. I said, what? So, I wrote this into my music. You want to show them how we did it?
Yeah.
Let's go! Okay, coming over here. String quartet, showing them this. Light. Well, I'm just a composer, you know, it takes a little while. Okay. Now, then I wrote about conversation. Here's the string quartet. You should be thinking, though, about the table with the people drinking and talking, because we will have the dialogue back and forth, and the loud and the screaming, and the whispering and the laughing. So, for example, let's say that I was having a little trouble with my voice because I'm deaf. I would on one note talk like this, on one note I'd say something sounding cello like this. I would talk on one pitch because I couldn't speak very well, this sort of thing. And then somebody would be singing or talking in a normal voice to me like that. And I would be frustrated, I couldn't hear them, and I would say louder, they would be too soft. Yeah, that's better. What? Could you be louder? Louder, please! That's right. Yeah. What? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so throughout this piece, I wrote in this soft laughing and the whispering and the screaming, and I made into it a scherzo. What is a scherzo? I know. Yes, what is it? A scherzo is a joke or a prank. Unfortunately, it's an Italian word, but I use it. And what the scherzo does is make fun of something. So Beethoven, I made fun of my own problems with the conversation. It's a beer holler or it's a milk holler, as the case may be. Now, how do you know for sure that I was writing about my deafness in this piece? Well, I wrote right on the manuscript. let my deafness no longer be a secret, even in my art, which is music. So here comes a nice, big, juicy, fat piece of music with the whispering and the laughing, and also there's a joke at the end. The joke at the end is about a deaf composer, me, trying to find the right note. Now, since I was Beethoven, I always found the right note, but people would say, Beethoven! They had to yell, Beethoven! If you're deaf, how can you hear the right note? And I would say, I hear in my head, but sometimes I make fun. Listen to how at the end I put in a joke about it. Just to make sure you get a little joke there, it's small. I ask to play the quartet to play again, leaving out the wrong notes. Now, there's a little guitar plunk in there, like plunk. After that, there should be wrong notes. This time, whole thing sounds correct. Go ahead, play. Now, play again with the wrong notes. You will see something very funny. Yeah, so now when they play the whole piece, you will hear their own notes at the end, the screaming, the whispering, the monotone one note speaking from the deaf person, and people passing around an idea like in conversation. He would say, you know, I want to know, is that 1% or 2% milk? And they ask, no, it's 2%. He says, no, it's skim milk. And this goes around the table arguing, can you taste 1%, 2% skim milk? Who knows? Here we have it. Scherzo. Spiel. You know, I really am a great composer. A great composer.
SummerFest family concerts are designed to attract younger generation, but to get them to understand how music is created. It's not just a lecture of why we play music. I think music is coming from human experience. Music is coming from human emotion. So Bruce Adolphe, our wonderful composer residence, created this program for us that is through comedy, through theater, through stories, to relate to our youngster that why music is there, and also they get the chance to enjoy the music, which is so important. Even my own daughter come here, now she's dancing around Stravinsky's music, and she's thinking that Stravinsky's string quartet is coming from stomach aches because the sound is Dion, 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 and there's Bruce holding his stomach and, you know, feeling the pain. And those are imaginations, you know, that you want to bring to your children and make sure they can take the sound and relate it to whatever is in their little mind. And so that's basically, it's a little different than the regular family concerts.
The way that Bruce Adolphe teaches our young people here to enjoy music is exactly the same as my teacher, Rostropovich, the great Russian cellist, taught me about how to play music when I was already out of college. This kind of associations between what's happening in music and real life things, because composers were real people. They had, for example, they had stomach aches, they had the flu, they fell in love, they fell out of love. I think bringing these kind of human experiences to light for young people is incredibly important, because they don't need to relate to it through sharps and flats and intellectual things. They can enjoy it for how it feels, and I think that's something that Bruce does in a really unparalleled fashion.
So I'm going to see if I can get something to eat here. There's a banana, but there's a menu here. The musical restaurant menu. Let's see what they've got. Peanut butter, mixed nuts. Oh, maybe I'll have some mixed nuts. Waiter! Waiter!
Yes, sir.
Uh-oh, it's him again. Do you have mixed nuts like it says on the menu, just a bowl of mixed nuts?
We certainly do.
Could I have that?
Yes, right away, sir.
Mixed nuts. You know, peanuts, almonds, cashews, walnuts, all of them, you know, we call nuts. I love nuts in candy bars. I also like them mixed in jars. I know that nuts are so good for you. I eat them daily in La Jolla. What is this? What kind of restaurant? I mean, it's so fancy that just to have some mixed nuts, you have a violin play for you?
Sir, this is a musical restaurant. We don't have food. We only have music about food.
Music about food. So I assume that music about a jar of nuts is going to have little patterns that sound like little nuts in a jar.
Well, we'll see.
Okay, let's hear the mixed nuts instead of eat them. Well, those are pretty good. Delicious. What kind of place is this? You order food, they bring you music? It's ridiculous. Let's see. Well, I'm not going to order a main dish in a place like this. I'm hungry. Let's see what else. Maybe I'll just go to dessert. Let's see. Chocolate things. I'm going to order chocolate cake. Waiter!
Yes, sir.
Do you have, like it says, chocolate cake? I mean, chocolate cake?
Of course we have chocolate cake.
Okay, I'll have the chocolate cake.
Chocolate cake it is.
Thank you. I love brownies. I love cake more than French fries, more than steak. I love Musketeers and Mars. Uh-oh, I'm afraid we're going to hear some chocolate bars. Hope it's gooey. Delicious. Thank you. Well, don't expect a tip. Just gonna try one more time to get something to eat. Something spicy. Wake myself up. Something to chew on. Maybe... Well, this is ridiculous, but they offer a bowl of chili peppers. Waiter!
Yes, sir.
All right. I mean this now. Can I get a bowl of chili peppers? Not a piece about chili peppers. A bowl of chili peppers? Can I get chili peppers?
Absolutely.
All right. Let's have it.
I'll bring the chili peppers.
Let's bring in the chili peppers. Somehow, I don't know. I really love that spicy food from Mexico or China or India or Thailand. Yes, there's surely nothing finer. They have a way with condiments that brings me to my knees. Ooh. Then lights a fire on my tongue till I shout, "Water, please!" And though I wonder as I put Tabasco in a pot, why do they call it chili when it tastes so very hot? Let's hear a little chili pepper. I guess that's what we're gonna have to do, is listen to it. Well, you know something? We've heard some music about food. We've heard music about conversation in the Beethoven. We heard music about machines in the Stravinsky. We even heard music about stomach aches. A composer, if you want, can write music about anything. So give it a moment's thought, because we're going to improvise a short piece of music by taking a suggestion from you. What's it going to be about? Food? No, whatever you want. Anybody have an idea? Give it some thought, raise your hand, and we'll... Yes, yes, sir.
The internet.
The internet. About the internet. All right, that's a pretty good... I know how to explain it to you in just a moment. Okay, now I need some note suggestions. So we will take, let's say, 3 notes. Think of a note, raise your hand, and if I call on you, we'll take your note. Yes. C. I think I can handle that. Wait. Yes. A. C and A so far. Okay. Let's take one more. Yes. Right here. No, with the pink right here. E. C, A, and E. I don't think they go together. Okay. Sharon, come on out here again. Hello, Sharon. Now, first we have to find out if Sharon has a C, an A, and an E on her violin. Do you have those notes? Let's hear the C. Okay, she's got a couple. You have another one somewhere? Oh, good. Any E's? I think you're at ease. Any A's? A? Okay. So we have C, E, and A. Now, how are we going to write a piece about the internet? I think the internet is all about connection, right? So whatever I do, whatever you do, we can go back and forth and feed it to each other. Which, you know what? It's just what music is like anyway, so I'm glad you suggested the internet. But it goes back and forth like a dialogue, and it's all connected. So we are going to make this piece up now. But we need another suggestion. We got C, A, and E. And I think the other suggestion is going to be, should we start loud or should we start soft? Yes. Loud. All right, so we'll go loud, soft, loud. Internet. Make sure it's about the internet, Sharon. And A, C, and E. All right, here goes. Do you want to tune? Good. Are you going to tune all of them? Just... Okay. This is C, A, and E. Now we're going to use lots of other notes, you know. Okay. First, we want to thank Paul and Stacy Jacobs for underwriting the Family Concert Series. A little applause for that. And there will be balloons, punch, and cookies outside right after the show. But before we end, we have a chance. You guys are interested in that, right? Okay. Let me tell you something. You better get there before they do. Now, we have time for some questions about anything you saw or heard, or just music generally, or instruments, whatever. Any questions? Yes? You think that was me being Beethoven? It was me. And I was wearing a wig, yes. I mean, now I'm wearing a wig. That was my hair. That's why we call him Herr Beethoven. Okay, another question. Yes? What? What about? Oh, tattoos, yes. Well, that's good. Something about tattoos. Excellent. I believe that Beethoven met people who years later had children who grew up and knew people who had tattoos. Yes. Make up what, the last piece? Yes, we were actually playing around. That's called improvisation. That was actually an improvisation. Now, Sharon and I have done improvisations before, and we kind of agreed that it would go in a certain direction, but that's all. It is completely kidding around. And we knew, for example, that we try to end with some silences, but when or how, you just have to pay attention to each other. So in some ways, it was a lot like the internet, because it goes back and forth, a lot of feedback. But we weren't making that up, and we could never do that exactly the same way again, because we were not actually listening. I mean... yes. Louder? A couple of, oh, did we use more notes than C, A, and E? We used every note we could find. But that's because we use C, A, and E as a main theme and as a main chord, and we almost used it as a key, but we didn't use it as the only notes, because that's not fair. You know how many notes there are, though? There aren't that many. How many notes are there with different names on the piano? Yes? Yes? No, there are 7 notes in a scale, but there are more notes than that if you count all the keys that are different. Yes? How many? No, there are more than 8. Yeah. No, if there are more than 8, 7 is not enough. Yes. No, 21 is too many. 10 is almost right. 12! Here are the 12 notes. Now, there are a lot more than 12 keys. There are 88 keys on the piano, but a lot of them are repeats, higher and higher. But the 12 notes are these. I can start anywhere. C, I can start on C, C sharp, which is the same as D flat, D, E flat, E, F sharp, G, G sharp, A, B flat, B, and I'm back. There are only 12 notes. So even though we were using lots more than A, C, and E, we only used 12. And all the music that you hear at this festival uses only 12 notes. One day, somebody will underwrite something in La Jolla so we can use 13 notes already. Come on. All right. One more question. Yes. Why didn't Schubert finish his symphony? That's a very good, it must have been bothering you for a while. Well, I think it had, he had a lot to do. He had school. No. Schubert lived a very, you want to hear the answer? Schubert lived a short life, very short life. He was only 31 years old when he died. So, it was a long time ago, so even if he had lived a long time, he'd be dead now, so don't worry about it. But actually, he didn't have time to finish everything. So that's one of the things he didn't finish. If he had finished it, it would be something else that would be called the Unfinished Symphony. Okay. All right, I think that's all the time we have, unless someone has an absolutely burning question. Any burning questions? Okay, in that case, see you outside for cookies, punch, and everything else. Thank you.